Hey everybody, it's Elizabeth and welcome back to this office makeover project, series, whatever we want to call it. Oh, there's Maple. So we got a towel on the floor over here because I was going to explain to you guys. This is our AC unit back here, and there's a drain pan on the bottom and the condensation hose that drains out to the exterior of the house, underneath the house, was clogged. So that tray was filling up and it was leaking across here, so the floor was wet. You can actually see, like, it got wet all the way to here and here, and then all of this right here is actually still damp. So that was a disaster. So my husband worked on that. He blew out that line. It took him several different times of trying, and he finally got it all pushed out. And I ordered water sensors that I can put down in that tray to where if there's any moisture on it, it'll send us an alert on our phone. So that'll be here in a few days. And I just got a 3-pack. So I'm going to put one by our washing machine and the other one by our hot water heater, just in case. Our hot water heater doesn't have a drain pan, which that's been required for like many years now, but our hot water heater is super old. It still works fine, but it is so old. It's been on the list to replace for like a year, but because we have no problems with it, we just keep it. It gets loud sometimes, but that's the only problem. And y'all, that hot water heater, literally, like, my husband said he remembers his dad putting it in when he was a kid. So it's probably like 30 years old. I mean, it's cool that it keeps going. But I want to do that for some peace of mind. So we'll be replacing that this year. And when we do, we'll put in a drain pan. And because there was some issues in the past that are no longer existing, that flooring, because it's in a closet in the front bathroom, the floor where it's at needs some repairs. So I will be so happy to just rip that all out, fresh floor in, new hot water heater with a drain pan, with a like a PVC pipe, you know, that goes to under the house in case anything gets in the drain pan. Anyway, so that's like a whole other thing. But so we'll put a sensor there just for peace of mind, which literally just be sitting on the floor because there's not a drain pan. But anyway, there's a lot of options out there. I looked at those back whenever I was doing the work over at my mom's house, because if y'all remember, there was perpetual leak issues. And so I kept keeping an eye on them and wondering, like, when is this going to stop, and different things. So I don't know how long to leave the red light on for my plants, and I kind of forget about it. But anyways, look how gorgeous that still is. Oh, is it playing outside? It's lovely. You can see the colors coming in from that one. Remember how I said that, like, the curtains are never open? I've literally left this one halfway open ever since I did put this up, just so I can see that, because I love it. I love it so much. So, and it's morning right now, so it's putting its little patterns on the floor, which is so lovely. I do yoga right here, and I love seeing this in the morning. It's just like, oh, beautiful, lovely. I love it. Anyway, so today we're going to paint. We're going to paint, y'all. I'm excited to see it done, but I feel slightly under the weather, so I'm not like physically excited as much as I normally would be. But based on my schedule for the week, this is the day I planned on doing it, when I kind of move some things around and don't have meetings the first half of this day. So I'm just like, okay, Liz, I just got to do it. So I'm going to be listening to some podcasts and stuff on my computer, and I'm just going to get you guys set up on a tripod. I'm going to get everything moved away. I'm going to focus on this wall first. It's the biggest part that has to be purple, and I want to do the purple because I think it might need 2 coats. So my goal today, just so that you're up to date with me, is to get both of the purple walls done. If I have to do the pink wall on a separate day, I'm fine with that. I'm also not looking forward to that because I'll have to move my computer. But my desk. And my husband was like, why are you like not looking forward to that? And I was like, because it's an L-shaped desk. Okay. It's an L-shaped desk with really thin metal things. So when you go to move it, these 2 pieces, although they're attached in the middle, they don't move in unison. So you have to move this like an inch, then come over here and move this an inch, and then move this an inch, and then it's just a whole thing. And of course, all the cords back there. So I might have to unplug everything. Anyway, So we'll leave that for a later Liz problem, and we'll get everything off of this first wall so I can get to painting. I have all the supplies and everything I need, so I'm just gonna get at it. Okay, so I got everything set up, got my paint ready. Had to pull my hair back because in trying to pour the paint into the thing, I remembered, oh yeah, I always dip my hair in the paint because it's so long. So, got to put up, we're going to get to rolling. Okay, so initial thoughts, I love it. Definitely gonna need 2 coats because it's so dark. I did go with a quality paint. I'll show you in a minute. But I just wanted to pop in here and say, I just ran to go get the step ladder so I can get over the window easily. And a thought popped into my mind. And it was a thought of gratitude. Gratitude that I live a life where if I need a step ladder, I can just go grab it because I have it. And the reason that's so significant to me is because, and I'm sure many of you can relate to this, but so many times in life, when you're just starting out as a young adult, and if you're like me and you had to start over numerous times in your life, there are so many times where you're trying to work on something around the house, do something in the garden, and you don't have what you need. And either you can make do with whatever you have, or maybe you try and go buy something secondhand because it's all you can afford, or maybe you just make do without it in whatever way you can. I mean, like literally I could just stand on a chair and paint that and that'd be fine. But it's the fact that my life has been so beautiful and stable for the last 8 years of my life, but it was anything but that prior. And when I relocated from Arizona to Arkansas, I sold everything we owned except for what would fit in one of the pull behind U-Haul trailers. So it was maybe 6 feet wide, 10 feet long. And that was not a lot of stuff. So coming out here was literally restarting life. And to think about the fact that that's where I was at the end of 2017. I was in a relationship that was not great, and it ended not long after that, and it was a bit before I met my now husband. But in that process between moving out here and where I live now, I lived with my mom, rented a house with my ex, that ended, rented a house in a small town by my kids' school. That landlord was violent and abusive. She was terrible. She was awful. Stalker. Rented the house on the hill. Both of those you would have seen me film in at all of them actually, you would have seen me film if you've been following me and were on my original channel. I gardened at every place I ever lived. Anyways, I lived there until I married my husband. I moved in here. So I've lived 5 places in the last 8 years. But out of the last 8 years, 7 years, out of the last 7 years, 5 of them have been here. So in 2 years, I lived in 4 different places. And then ever since I married my husband, we moved in together right after we got married. And I lived in this house for 5 years now. And it's like, wow, just little nuggets of things to be grateful for. I think about this every morning when I do my yoga routine. At the end of my yoga routine, I do like a gratitude prayer, think about everything that I'm thankful for. And the stability in my life is always one of them. My husband, my family, this home, our pets, like so thankful. And it's little things that trigger it like that. Like, I need a step stool. I have a step stool. Let me look at my step stool. Oh my God, look at me. I have a step stool, you know, because during, you know, moving out here with so little, and then during the 4 moves, which was so stressful, I slowly gathered, you know, more things, more furniture, whatever. But there was a time when I lived in Arizona and I moved into a place with no washer and dryer, and I had hardly any money to survive and function off of. I was in real estate then, and pay was very, very inconsistent. So I was thankful to get paid once a month. And so I didn't have a lot to work with. And I found like literally a 50-year-old washing machine on Facebook for like 40 bucks. Had a car, so I had a friend that was willing to go get it for me, which was great. Before I had that washing machine, you guys, I washed laundry in the kitchen sink for a few weeks when we first moved in there. Then I got the old washing machine, and then I would clothesline dry, and eventually when I could afford it, I got a dryer. And those were both really old, mismatched set. They were different colors. It was just a whole thing, but like, they were paid for, they were mine, I had them, I was able to make it and get by. But honestly, those moments that you spend doing things the hard way or washing clothes in the sink, that makes you who you are. It builds so much character, and I'm thankful for all those times, because I knew in those moments, if I stuck it out, I would make it through. And I did. I always made it through. And my eye was always on the next step, the next level. Like, I'm washing clothes in the sink. If I could give me any kind of washing machine, that'd be an improvement on my life. And then I did. And it's like, okay, cool, we're doing this, and we're hanging clothes on the line, which kind of sucks when the weather's crappy or it's raining. So if I could give me, you know, a dryer, that'd be great. Just anyways, don't want to go too far off on a tangent about that. But anyways, I hope you're grateful for everything you have in your life, because you may not be where you want to be. You may still be grinding and working on things. You may be retired, who knows? And hopefully if you're retired, you're still grinding and working on hobbies and things you're passionate about and things you love doing and whatever. It doesn't have to be work related. But we all need a direction in life, something to be moving towards, because it's literally what gives us life. So anyways, hope you're doing great. Okay, so I have all the purple done. I'll give you a little shot. I did all the trim. I did just the first coat of everything. So I'm just going to wait a bit for that to dry. My eyebrows are really dark today. Don't judge me. I filled them in and I just went a little too heavy. Anyways, yeah, so definitely loving the color so far, but excited. Look, now when the sun is not like directly in the windows, you can really appreciate that vinyl. That's lovely. So I did end up moving stuff and doing the 2 purple walls just to kind of keep on rolling while I was rolling. So like everything is on the middle. I had to put Maple in her kennel because it's just chaos in here, and she kept trying to walk over everything, and I've got paint and whatever. It's just a mess. That's always just part of it during the process. But you can see up there where the one coat with the brush seems really thin. So when I roll again, I'm going to try and get further up as much as possible. I did that without a ladder. Anyways, went all the way over there. Nice. And then over here, got this. I'm going to mention that before you see it. This is a spot I have to drywall patch. It's going to be behind the bookshelves, which I did order. Yay. So they're coming in next week. But I've got drywall outside. So what I did for now is I just kind of went around it, and I can do touch-up paint once I do the drywall patch. Anyways, it's had a drywall patch in it before, the little mesh thing, and it did not stick. So I have actual drywall. So I'm going to patch in actual drywall. But anyways, now the white on the purple does look great. It does pop like it did when I did that in my office, but this is definitely a darker purple. so far. Definitely loving it. Can't wait to see 2 coats and dry and curtains back up, because that will really give us a feel for how intense or dark it's going to be. So I'm going to work on some work stuff, try to let everything dry, and then I'm going to roll the second coat. Okay, so I saved you a lot of the stuff just because today was really busy with work, meetings, and going back and forth. So let me show you what I got done. All right, so it's still pretty bright in here. So I rolled 2 coats, I cut in 2 coats, I've moved all the furniture back. That was really getting on my nerves. And it looks really good. I would say some of the second coat for cutting in, especially on this wall, is probably not dry, because that's what I did last. But I actually ended here and here, and then like here. So there's nothing touching that. So I did put this outlet back on, but it's broken, so I need to order a new one that's bigger. So I'm gonna do that. But anyway, so that's all cut in. Very nice looking. I moved all the stuff back. I'm gonna leave the books there for now because the bookshelves are coming in soon. Actually, I guess I can't do that because I gotta move the desk to paint that wall pink. That sucks. Anyway, I'll have to find another new 4th temporary home for the books. But I am loving this chair pushed back further because the books used to be back under the window there. Love that. Love that spacing. We'll get rid of this. This is a temporary pot that I need to pot something up in, but I can't even remember what I bought it for. So anyways, that is really nice. I am loving the color. If you just look here behind me, it's a really nice plummy color. And then if we turn the overhead off, it's very deep. I love that. Love how deep it is. Ooh, look at that. That's nice. I wanted a dark enough color that with just dim lighting on, it would almost look black. So we definitely succeeded there. Yeah. So I've got to wrap up work stuff the rest of today, but I'm going to shampoo this part of the carpet here because it's continued to stay damp and almost kind of sticky feeling. I don't know if it's because I've been walking around here barefoot today and I usually wear shoes, but either way, it's really bothering me because there was a line in it, and I was telling my husband about it last night. I'm like, I don't think the line is wet, but I don't understand what the line's from. And he's like, I might have just drug like mud across the carpet that night that he was in here working on it, because it was really late and it was raining outside. So that's very possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna shampoo that part. I'm gonna do the off camera when I come back to you. I did get in the other new window vinyl, and I told you I was gonna order this exact same one, which you can't see it right now. This exact same one. And I ended up getting a different print. Same vibe, same family, made from the same company, except it's all greenery. There's no flowers. I think it's really pretty, so I can't wait to see that up. So we'll be doing that over there, and then painting the green up, painting the pink before we wrap up this video. So. Hey guys, so I'm popping back in here for an office update because I have not updated you guys in a while. This kind of looks weird behind me, but it's because the mirror is sitting over there. Still have not painted this pink wall. If you saw my reels, this video will be a little bit behind, but in real life, in real time, my son had a nose surgery and ended up having post-op complications. So we were in the hospital. That light is bright. We were in the hospital for about 4 days. Just got home today. Made me realize that I had an update in the office I wanted to tell you about before I forgot, because hopefully in the next clip you'll be seeing me tackling this pink paint. But in real life, I don't know if that's going to be 4 days from now, 5 days from now, whatever. Remember how I told y'all that this AC was leaking into this drain pan here, and it had come in here, and there was carpet here before, obviously. I could not get that spot to dry out, just couldn't for the life of me. So we ended up cutting this piece of carpet out. So glad we did, because I'll show you a before picture over here on the left. You can see like how wet it was. The wood was so dark. It took it like probably a day and a half to fully dry out. Since then, we've kept this curtain open just to like keep an eye on this down here. So anyways, we're just keeping an eye on this issue here, and it looks like just from where I'm sitting, there might be a little moisture there still. Anyways, but the plan is to go ahead and keep the carpet open like this. I wish and I hope that one day we just pull up all this carpet, because I'm not a fan of it. This is the original hardwood floor. You can tell it is definitely, you know, damaged some. That's like laminate wood floor over there in the living room. But we went ahead and we went to Home Depot and we bought the carpet trim. We're gonna obviously trim it out at the edge. And then I got some, we didn't feel like it really needed stain, because like it just kind of is what it is. And it's, yeah, it looks aged and a little rough, but like I don't hate it. I feel like aged wood tells a story, so whatever. But I bought a can of like spray poly, so we're gonna coat it. So it'll definitely be shinier, which I think will actually look pretty decent running up to that other wood floor, because you can see the biggest difference is that's more of a red tone and definitely shinier because it's laminate. So we're just gonna put some poly on it, do some trim. I'll show you whenever we actually get to that. Just wanted to give you guys a little update on like what's going on here in the office. So I'm sitting here working in my office, obviously, and thinking about painting this final wall pink. And as I'm sitting here, I'm looking at these purple walls and I love them so much. And I'm thinking that I think that this third wall in front of me with the windows here, if it was purple also, I don't think it would be too much. I think it would be just lovely. So I'm kind of debating. I need to wrap up this video soon, because my videos are actually like a week behind because I was in the hospital with my son. And so usually these office videos are like a week behind in real time, but when you guys see this video this week, it's from this week, so I'm running behind, so that puts me under a little stress. Also, my son Riley was here this past weekend and he built the bookshelves for me, so I'm trying to hide them from you, but like that's kind of impossible. They're huge. Oh my god, they're so big. I love them so much. I cannot wait to get them where they go. However, that's going to be a different video and a whole project in itself, but I've been so excited about this bookshelf part that now I'm like, okay, let me get this wall done. I got to work on these bookshelves. Plus, any time that my office is like a mess like this, where things are like just like literally in wrong places, it really causes me stress. So I need to get it wrapped up. So I have a really full day of work today. Wasn't planning on doing anything in the office, but as I sit here and I look at my calendar for like the whole week and everything, I'm like, I've got to get this done. I don't know if you guys ever feel that way, but I feel like for me personally, when I have like a to-do list kind of looming over my head, it's almost like I'm working at half strength. It's like I'm constantly distracted and I'm thinking about something else I either need to be doing or would rather be doing. And oftentimes if I just take a break from the work I'm trying to do to work on a project, even if it's just for an hour, I feel so much relief from that, and then I can fully focus on work. And so I'm debating. I'm sitting here debating not starting work stuff right now and instead painting this wall. But like, I'm not dressed in paint clothes. I've got to move paint. I've got to move the plant shelf and everything. I told myself I would not work on this wall during a weekday because I was going to have to move my desk. And like, while the desk was moved, I wouldn't very easily be able to be productive for work. So I'm just sharing this moment in time with you guys because this is just how this project really feels. I really want to do that. But anyways, most importantly, I just wanted to let you know, I think I'm going to do this wall purple. I still love that pink paint that I have, and I only have a quart. So what I may do is use that pink for the dresser. because I do think that that pink color is going to pop well as an accent with this wallpaper, but like I don't need it on a whole wall. And I'm just looking over here at this sample and was like thinking, that wall would be cooler if it was purple. I'm afraid that bright of a pink on a whole wall that I like literally see all day long is gonna be not the vibe I'm going for. It's a great accent color for that wallpaper, so that color works really well. And I could use it in a lot of other areas of the office, like throw pillows, throw blankets, the dresser, stuff like that. But I think just the wall is not a great place for it. So I pretty much have talked myself into doing the other wall purple. I just don't know when I'm gonna get around to doing it. Well, the day has finally come that I'm going to start working on painting this final wall. I've removed everything from the wall except for the desk. And it's raining outside, which is so lovely, so needed. So, last thing I've got to move is these books again. I guess I'll just move them over here. I need to still be able to get through. What fun. Anyways, and I'll scoot the desk back and get started. Okay, so I got everything moved and it was awful. I'm so ready for this part to be done. Look at all these books. Okay, and when I moved this shelf, where is it? This plant fell right here. I had soil and wet soil, moist soil, whatever you want to call it, there. And I didn't think about the humidifier, so it fell off, got water in the floor. So vacuumed that up and cleaned it up as good as I could. Still have a wet spot, so I put a little rag there, but I think that's going to be enough space to get in here. And then back here, I only have this much space, and I'm praying I can reach from each side and from under there. Not sure how that's going to go, but I mean, look at this. These shelves, oh my god. So when I can get everything back on this wall, I'm probably immediately, if not today, tomorrow, gonna work on moving this out. I just have too much crap in here, and this really aggravates my stress level. Like this is the room that we have. This is the floor space we have. I know it's just part of it, but it's so annoying. But I'm gonna get you guys on a tripod while I get to work. And I can't have Maple in here. There's just so much crap everywhere. So yeah, here we go. So as you can see, I got all of the painting done. So glad. Can't believe this video was like 2 weeks in the making, but look how gorgeous that color is, and plants in front of it just pop. So bless you, Maple. So I know it was a bit of a detour that I didn't end up doing that pink color, but once it's up there, I have no regrets. I love how deep this color is, and decided with all of the white trim, especially you can see over here where there's lots of white trim, it's just not too much. It's not too much for this space. So anyways, I'm loving it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. As I mentioned earlier in the other videos, you can see I already have my bookshelves. That's gonna be in next week's video. And I'm really looking forward to getting them where they need to go. But I'll go ahead and mention here, because we are putting them flush against the wall and screwing them into the wall to be permanent bookshelves. We're gonna have to cut the baseboard trim. So I'm gonna wait till my husband can help me. I can't wait to get this guy moved out, because a lot of the stuff sitting on that is not gonna even go on the other bookshelves. It's just crap that I need to find a new home for. So anyways, super pumped about next week's video. Bookshelves are going in. It's gonna happen. I'm excited. Can't wait to see you there. Hope you guys have an awesome day.